Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What is this starting off now? Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us in our session for the week that was and the week that will be. A game of probabilities, a game of expectations, or what we can expect and what we had predicted or what we had expected, how well it turned out, and how well or how disappointing it was. Either way, same things. Now, as we normally do, we start our analysis on a monthly chart, take it to weekly and then to day chart. I will first start with Dow Jones, which is the broader market, then take it on Nasdaq, which is the tech stocks. We'll also look at FTSE, the London Exchange, and then also look at the calendar markets, how TSX is expected to move. The reason I'm taking all the four indexes is 3 of them are North Americans. So they'll give you how indices themselves are different from each other, how you have to trade them differently, each of them. The fourth one being FTSE will give you the international flavor of how the world is expecting things to move. Clear? First things first, Dow Jones monthly chart. The chart is clearly seen on front of you. In the month of October, we had a bullish engulfing candle as compared to September. November has started off, which is why you see a small candle on top. The first week of November is almost done. Right? The super trend has turned flat. The best thing about the chart on a monthly is all your moving averages, be it 200, 65, 34, 20, and 8. Apart from 20 and 8, all of them are in the ascending order. Just the 20 and 8 are not in the ascending order. So which is why we are waiting for that crossover to happen to give you a straight bump up and a huge spike up. Clear? But on the monthly chart, Dow Jones is playing it wonderfully well. You look at the Dow Jones, the stochastic crossover has happened at 31 and 26. CCI has definitely curved up. It is near the zero line at minus 30. MACD histograms have reduced, are almost at a zero height level, which is at minus 62 if you ask me. But the crossover is not yet to happen. So the crossover is expected to happen, which is why the purple line in MACD has started rising up. If the crossover happens, and you can expect a large amount of movement in there. So Dow Jones is very clear. Now I have already analyzed Dow Jones, something which I can give you upfront over here, or else let me give that to you and I look at the day chart, which is a very important number that I'm going to give you, which could be turning around numbers for Dow Jones in case if it takes a dip. Though I am not expecting it to take a dip beyond a particular level. Beyond a particular level, I will not expect the dip to take place. This is 30,586, which is also almost the middle of the Marubazu bullish engulfing candle of October. 30,600, 30,586. But I'll give you a stronger number much earlier as a stop loss if you're trading Dow Jones to check out the trend of the market for the future. Clear? This is the monthly chart. Similar to this, let's look at the monthly chart of Nasdaq also. I'm doing month-to-month comparison of both the indices so that it's easier for us to understand what is happening where. Now, In the monthly chart of Nasdaq, first things first, the moving averages are not all in the same order. 8 has crossed 34 and climbing down. Super trend is not flat but curving down. Bollinger Bands are expanding both sides. Clear? MACD, though the histograms are reducing in height, the MACD crossover has not even been thought about on the monthly chart on Nasdaq. The stochastics are still bearish, facing downwards. 7 and 12. 7 is the black line, 12.5 is the red line for stochastic. CCI rising, falling flat at minus 98. So Nasdaq as compared to Dow Jones is looking still very, very weak on a monthly chart. How much lower can it go? 10,000. Currently at 10,475. I would look for Nasdaq at 10,001. At a reversal of 10,001, or keeping that if 10,001 breaks, or if 10,000 breaks, your next support is over here. 8,460 or 8,500. So between 8,500 and 8,800 is your next support. That is the straight 1,200 points dip further expected in Nasdaq in case if 10,000 breaks. 10,000 breaking in this month of October, the low was 10,088. So that is why 10,000 breaking becomes a psychological barrier which will break down. Now, club this fact with a lot of tech numbers through. We were discussing Meta last 2 weeks. We discussed Twitter. We discussed Google. We discussed Amazon. We discussed Microsoft. All those analysis, if you club it together, you would realize what are we talking about. Now, Nasdaq on a weekly chart. Right? Look at the low here. Nasdaq on a weekly chart has clearly given you that the histograms have reached the zero levels, but the crossover has happened, but very far from the zero levels and still very, very weak. The weekly chart candle, this last week candle has almost engulfed the previous 2 weeks candle and almost tested the month low in 9th of October, week ending 9th of October. Almost tested this. This is 10,262. This is 10,100. So it's just 150 points away. The test low was almost tested. Strong red volume bar. Strong red volume bar. So the trend here is coming. Another issue, the 200-day moving average has come within the Bollinger Bands and is above your closing price on a weekly chart. That means he is below your 4-year average low. Current price is below the 4-year average. Clear? The only thing saving the grace is the super trend turning flat, and the super trend turned flat is only because of these 2 weekly candles, green candles. If this shows further bearishness, this can always take a dip down. Look at this, what happened over here. 3 weeks of flattening and then again a dip. 3 weeks of flattening and again a dip can take place. But this is a weekly chart. Let's look at Dow Jones on a weekly chart. The reason I'm comparing the two is you all will know immediately which index is going to move the market and how. Now, in the weekly chart here, first thing, super trend has turned bullish and rising. It's just the second week, so it will rise. Very rarely will you have it turns bullish and it goes sideways. If it turns bullish and goes sideways immediately, it means the rally will not be there for long. It will come down. But here it is bullish and turning up, and this is a weekly chart. Right? Here the crossover has already happened over here. You are 3 histograms above the zero. Your blue signal line is about to enter the histograms. Stochastic has crossed over at 61 and 43. CCI is already turned positive. So in this case, on a weekly chart Dow Jones, my first target is 34,000. 34,100 if you ask me, or 34,000. Which also happens to be your 65 moving average at 33,500 or 33,600. Now, if the momentum continues and if the 65 moving average gets taken out, you will get a lot of positive momentum in Dow Jones on the weekly chart. In that case, 34,100 is a very, very nominal target to be achieved. Your next target would be 35,100, which I will be gunning for. Another factor to be seeing in the weekly chart is the upper Bollinger Band flattening and curving up. The lower Bollinger Band has clearly U-turned. The U-turn is clearly visible in the lower Bollinger Band. The mid Bollinger Band has also curved up. The 8 moving average is also curving up. Right? Here on the weekly chart, Dow Jones has taken this support at the 34 moving average. It tested on a weekly chart but closed above the 34 moving average. One-day chart of Dow Jones and one-day chart of Nasdaq. See the difference? Nasdaq is near the upper Bollinger Band, much above the 20 moving average, mid Bollinger Band, at the 8 moving average. That's Dow Jones for you. He has touched your 200-day moving average on a day chart, or just touched and come down. Clear? This is Dow Jones for you. Compare this on Nasdaq. You are at the lower Bollinger Band. You had a inverted hammer, then a hammer. MACD signals down. No chance of reversal yet. Stochastic clearly down. No chance of trying to even curve up. And at 8 and 26 on the day chart, Nasdaq, that indicates to you there is further weakness expected in Nasdaq. Upper limit, if it does cross the 220 moving average at 10,700, which is another about 250 points, then look at this Support trend at 11,100 to be your first target, and that will act like a resistance to again push it down. Now here I would look at this number as 11,011 or 11,111 as your resistance level. 11111. If this starts moving up, and it will, if it only breaks your 20 moving average, which at this point is at 10,700, another about 225 points away. If that breaks in a positive manner, in a bullish manner, above 10,700 on a closing basis alone, will you look for this target? So I would look to sell this at 10,700 and let it fall down with a small stop loss. Just 10,700 with a small stop loss. Why am I saying I'm selling this Nasdaq? Because your 8 moving average is coming down. 20 is almost turned flat. So if 8 crosses 20 and comes below, it will be a bearish setup for you. In that case, this super trend will turn down, which is also seen in your MACD, also seen in your stochastic. CCI has just given you that uptick because it is at a very strong levels, right? Compare this with Dow Jones. You are at the upper Bollinger Band consolidation before the next uptick happens. Before the next uptick happens, it's a gap up opening. The gap has been filled on Friday itself and further up, right? Number one. Number two, look at stochastic 69.76. A crossover can happen, may not happen. MACD, a negative crossover happened over here because of this red candle, but he is trying to pull back. He is tested the opening levels of this red bar by the wick, and if this trend continues, your upper heights 200-day moving average can be taken out. Now, why do I expect this crossover which is not seen over here? Why am I expecting a crossover here? There's a very specific reason why am I expecting this crossover to happen. CCI has given me one indication. Stochastic has given me a small hint that we may, because of the intertwining and the difference being not much, it could cross over. But what has given me the most important indication is the 20 moving average mid Bollinger Band, the lower Bollinger Band curving up. This flattening of the lower Bollinger Band was because of this consolidation or breather taken by the market in the last 1 week. The entire week, he finally closed just above the open of last Friday. Not this Friday, the week before that. That is this date, 28th of October. The open was 32,204. Here we closed at 32,403. So the week is still moving in. The Bollinger Band gives me a hope that this will first take it out and help you to grow up. Now, I had said something in the beginning of the session that I'm going to give you a specific number on Dow Jones spot value. The number is 310 3113. 31013. So 31,013. 31,013 or 31,013. Oh, sorry, 31,130. Either of the two numbers. You can use either of the two numbers. 31,130 or 31,013. Both the numbers are critical numbers for Dow Jones to hold on a closing basis for a day chart. Till that is held, this will remain a bullish trend, bullish uptrend. 31,013 and 31,130. Two numbers. If they are held on a closing basis, I will continue to remain bullish on Dow Jones. I have not given you a similar number for Nasdaq because my reading on Nasdaq is not yet, I haven't yet turned bullish over there. So when I tell you trade with the edge or trade on the edge, the idea is simple. You know what level you have to buy it around. Buying for this stock, the week low over here is 31,727. Buy anything on Dow Jones or buy Dow Jones at 31,800 or 31 or 32,000 and look for a higher target with minimal stop loss. You are talking about the week low and buying it around that level. Clear? That's Dow Jones day chart, Nasdaq day chart. You are at this level. Nasdaq, you could be looking to buy it at 10,110 or 10,120 or 10,150. If it comes there, buy, because this Maru Bazu candle will give you the support and let it go up. So if it dips, take a small trading bet. If Nasdaq spot comes to 10,150, you can buy it with a small stop loss. Stop loss being low of this, which is 10,088. So 10,050 can be your stop loss. So you can buy at 10,150 with 10,050 as a stop loss, 100-point stop loss, and look for a target of around 11,000. Or look for a target at 10,700. That's a 600-point run. Clear? Any questions on Dow Jones? Any questions on Nasdaq monthly, weekly, daily charts? If no questions, let's take it to FTSE. The broader international market. This is the monthly chart of FTSE, London Stock Exchange. Super trend turned flattish. 200-day moving average, 34 moving average, 65 moving average, 20 and 8 moving average. 20 moving average and 8 moving average. All of them in the correct line apart from 65 and 34. But the price is currently trading above the 65 moving average, which as per me is a very positive sign. Number one. Number two, monthly chart. Two green candles. November so far, just a small month, but giving you a good monthly movement in the first 5 days itself. Look at the movement of this candle in the first 5 days. The low is 7,075. The high is 7,375. A 300-point movement in the first 5 days itself of November. Whereas in the entire month of October, he gave you only a 400-point movement. Here he's given you a 300-point movement in the first 5 days itself. Look how your lower Bollinger Band is curving up and the upper Bollinger Band is coming down, trying to give you a squeeze. Now, those of you who have learned with us would realize this squeeze is important. Now, along with the squeeze, the tweaks that we have taught you, look at your stochastic 38 and 39, 38 and 40. Crossover yet to take place. CCI at minus 21, very close to the zero line, moving upward. In trend, look at this trend. Going up, the same thing, going up, moving upward. Most important, look at MACD. Histograms are now at minus 24 height, approaching the zero level, but the signal line is trying to curve up and cross the MACD line. Now, if this curving up and crossing the MACD line happens above the zero line, do you realize what's going to be the movement on the index? It will be a superb rally. A superb rally. It will not give you a chance to enter also. This is a monthly chart. It is going to be a superb rally. Now, on the FTSE, check out your week. Baru Bazu candle. Crossover happened. Zero line. You are in positive territory and stochastic on weekly chart has crossed over. So what's the first target? Forget this super trend flattening. This is going to be a kid's play for them. 7,450 would be a kid's play for them. Look for most probably look for getting it out by Monday or Tuesday itself. Look at this level. 7,700. Very comfortably achieved. And if that is achieved, you're talking about almost going back till 2020, around March 2020. Yeah, that will almost be the all-time high. Right? So this is the weekly chart. Very, very bullish, if you ask me. Let's take the day chart. Do you want to see anything further on this, on the support trend levels? Day chart, look at the crossover. Look at the way he's climbed. That is the climb you will get in the monthly chart if the monthly crossover happens. Above the zero line. It won't give you a chance to enter. Huge bullish candles. So if you ask me just now, I'm not looking at 7,400. I'm looking at 7,600 or even higher. So global markets turning around. Yeah. Push. Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord. GSP. Kamal, what is that this thing?
So GSP, TSE.
TSE, yes.
Yes, sir.
I had opened the chart and unfortunately I closed it also. TSX monthly chart. Don't look at the last candle. This is only for November. Not yet. Look at the October candle, engulfing this candle and taking it up. Now in the monthly chart, 200-day moving average, 65 moving average, 34 moving average. Only 8 and 20 have crossed over. Why have they crossed over? Because it is coming, it has to be brought to the lower Bollinger Band. That is the reason why. It just had this crossover happen because of this location. But the lower Bollinger Band climbing up, upper Bollinger Band climbing down, squeeze about to happen. Number one. Number two, stochastic 26 and 30. Crossover done. CCI curving up at minus 61. MACD histograms reducing in height. Currently just minus at 98. But the MACD line and the signal line crossover can happen anytime now. This is a month chart. Look at the blue line in MACD curving and flattening. So the crossover can happen. If the crossover happens, your monthly target of 22,000 is not very far away. Don't expect it in the month of November, but yes, February, March, you could.
And so the crossover will likely happen very close to the zero line.
Yeah. Yes, very close to zero line. And if it happens very close to zero line, again, it will give you a big momentum. Any crossover in MACD happening near the zero line with stochastic at approximately about 60 or above 60 will give you a very huge rally on the upside.
Okay.
And this is a monthly chart, exactly like your Dow Jones, exactly like your FTSE. And Super 10 had turned flat. Now, if you look, somebody can just check what is the all-time high of TSX. You will realize the all-time high will be something at around 22,213. That will get broken by February, March. Your first target is 22,350. This is the monthly chart. Week. Candles going up. Whatever it did in the week, it closed near the top of the previous week. The closure here was at 19,471. The open here was at 19,406, lower than the previous open, but it made a high, made a low, and closed at 19,449. Whereas here the close was at 19,471. The difference of only about $20, 20 points between the 2-week closure. Volume bigger than the previous week. Histograms up, crossover happened. CCI positive. Stochastic crossover done. First target, I will not even look at 20,000. My first target is 20,500. Above the current upper Bollinger Band. 20,500 or 20,550. First target. This is weekly chart on TSX. 200-day moving average at the lower Bollinger Band, 8, 20, 34, and 65. The patterns on weekly are in the reverse manner. If you want a good impetus, all of them should fall down and come in the ascending order. Check it out on the day chart and you will realize that happening clearly. 8 is above 65. Your Super 10 turned bullish, turned flattish. This will now act like a support, 18,900. Clear? On the day chart, your MACD crossover is almost again about to happen in a bullish trend. CCI has again turned upward. Stochastic 68 and 73. Though you had days like this, it's given you a reversal back.
And sir, even that is a flag pattern.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a flag pattern. And if the flag breaks out over here at 19,650, you are straight to 20,000 to 200, 20,300. Straight, nothing holding you in between. One small here at 19,800, which is a minor one. Otherwise, straight 20,250, 20,300, which also happens to be your 200-day moving average at 170. That will get crossed. Clear? Any questions now? Vivek wants you to look at Alta, EMRA, and TQQ. ALTA. Vivek,
Sir, look
Alta
at
gas.
monthly support, sir.
Hmm?
Look at monthly chart. It's at critical. I feel like it's at critical support.
Yes, because your 65 and 34 on a monthly is going to be a strong support to you, so which is also the lower Bollinger Band.
Yep.
Which would be approximately at 22 or 22.50. Yeah, 22.50. Right? But Vivek, look at this. All falling. Support trend has just turned bearish. So first target 21. Also, MACD monthly
Sir.
negative crossover. Histogram that just started turning negative and big. CCI minus 158. And stochastic has also turned bearish. So if I was to enter this stock, I would enter this stock at 21.25 or 21.40 or 21, yeah, 21.40, 21.50. Small
Yes,
stop
sir.
loss.
Yeah.
21.40, 21.50, small stop loss on a monthly closing.
Mhm.
But if this closes below your 65, it will, I expect it to go below them. Then don't hold it. It will not
I'm
hold
not,
this.
I'm not holding
it
it,
will
sir.
not
I'm
hold this
just
because 65
practicing
on,
my skills.
no,
So
no, that's all right. At 65 moving average, if that breaks on a monthly chart, I don't expect it to bounce back from there that easily. 65 moving average is 20 to 50 or 20 to 40. That is why I'm saying if you have to buy it at 21.40, 21.50, because you may get a wick over there to buy.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Only a wick. But if 21.50 breaks, then this is the bottom, 13.
Yes, sir.
Nothing holding it before that. Yeah, nothing holding it before that. Monthly chart. Weekly, same thing, continues. Support trend, sloping down, 8, 20, 65, below 65, definitely below 34. 200-day moving average on the weekly chart is at 2160. Now you realize weekly chart 200-day moving average is at 2160, and where did we just ask you to buy? 2150.
Yep.
That is the reason why the 4-year average is at 2150, 2160. Weekly chart, clearly stochastic down, CCI down, and MACD also down.
True, sir. Yeah.
Weekly chart, upper Bollinger Band curving up, lower Bollinger Band curving down, ballooning started. So far, it was a squeeze. From here to here, it was a squeeze. And then the ballooning starts. And look at the ballooning starts. Started from here, September 25th, and then almost 1.5 months of ballooning has taken place of. Super trend fell, flattened, and again going down. So 2150, good buying price.
Yes, sir.
Want me to go the day chart?
Mm.
Yes, Vivek.
The same I was looking at, sir. 2150. I was looking at around 20 sometimes. So if it goes down.
20, it will not go, because if it breaks 2150 and it comes to 20, then you can look for a target of 13.
13, yeah.
Then you can look for a target of 13. But I am expecting it at 2150. It will take a bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'll tell you that also. Now merge your two analysis together. What are they into? What is this company?
Energy.
Oil and gas. Oil and gas.
Energy. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you're talking about this stock being listed on TSX.
Mm-hmm.
TSX, I'm expecting a bump up.
Mm-hmm.
So if it touches at 2150 or even at 2175, buy it for a good short run.
Yep.
Because the broader index will pull it out.
Sure, sir.
Right? That is the logic of buying this stock only. Does it answer you?
Perfectly. Yeah.
Which is the next one you had? I'm not checking the chat, otherwise.
It's called Emera. EMERA.
EMERA. Emera TO.
Yeah.
EMATO.
Same story there, I feel.
Muni, we haven't yet done the ES. After this, I've done the indices. I've done NASDAQ. I've done Dow. I've done FTSE. I've done TSX. I'll do ES shortly after I finish Vivek's request. Same story there.
Same story.
You want me to analyze this?
No, it's like I was just digging up where can I get the support for this for a good run, because like you see the fall, it's like a very good fall. So but the consolidation could also be better.
From here, the first support zone would be around here at 48, which is not very far. So I will not look at that support zone.
Mm-hmm.
I will look at something over here, 44, 44, 45. Either 44, 45, or I will look at 43. Because the support trend has just turned bearish and there is no chances of flattening yet. So I will look at 43 as the first support to buy this.
Yeah.
Around 43. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next stock.
PQQ, sir.
Oh, that is same as NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is very weak for me. Moni, this is what you also enjoy. ES Mini and NASDAQ and TQQ. Monthly chart. Seen that? See the fall? See the support trend turning down? Where is it going to give you support? 8, 12. Where? This support trend is already been breached. After that, there was no flattening over here. The only flattening zone is over here. This support trend flattening. So 10.
Not 6.
Oh. No, not 6. Not 6. That's very far away. Because 8.5 is also a level over here, which is giving you a good support, 8.5. 8 and 10 has supported you on monthly chart. So 6 is definitely not in my view, but I would look at 10 or 12. 10 or 12. Yes. I would look at, yeah, 10 or anything between 13.5 and 12, I would be a buyer. Anything between 13.5 and 12, I would be a buyer. Monthly chart, everything following, that is one reason. Yes, this gives me a slight hope. MACD and MACD flattening and CCI flattening and going up. And stochastic at rock bottom. So currently at 18, 1795, I would look to buy it around 13.5 and 12. Monthly chart. Weekly. Last candle. Bullish, bearish Marubazu, and almost, I can't say engulfing, but bearish Marubazu definitely. Volumes are high as compared to the others. Look at this volume. There's somebody who would actually like to do buy puts. Munir, since are you on call? Or anybody here? This is 6th November. Give me a put price of about $13. November end expiry. Or yeah, November end expiry. $13. What is the price currently running at? What is the ask price? Anybody? TQQ puts November end expiry. $13 or even $12. $13 would be better. Yes, Vivek.
So November 25 expiry, $13 put is at $17 a lot.
You realize why it is so expensive? Because the market is expecting it to go down. $17. That's a little too high.
So that's
Sir,
0.17 into 100. Yeah.
Oh, that is just 17 cents.
Yeah, 17 cents. I said $17 a lot.
$17 a lot. 17 cents. 17 cents is a worth picking it up. It's a very small amount. It can be picked up. You can
but I
easily
think our commission might be more depending upon contracts.
look at
And
this.
the-
Look
And
at this
December
weekly
2nd
chart.
is 33 cents.
Which one?
December 2nd is 33 cents.
Look at this, 8.25. All the way back in March 2020. And look at the support. Do you find any support anywhere here? Any support here? The only support is at 8.25. And this is weekly. Hmm. $16.32. But still looks very weak to me. Weekly chart also looks very weak to me. day chart. You see the squeeze happening? You see the box, narrow movement in the box? So if this lower end of the box at 1620, if this breaks, you know your value of 13 is clearly available. Otherwise, so far, if somebody wants to trade TQQ only, you keep buying it at about 1650, selling it at about 2250. Buy at 1650, sell at 2250. The TQQ is taken care of. Very close box being formed. So either 1650 or 17, wherever you want to buy. This is the low over here. The low here is 1632. The low here is 17. The low here is 1685. So buy at 17, get rid at 20, 21, 75, 22, get rid at 22. That's the trade for TQQ on a day chart. Last candle makes it lucrative enough with the volume, but I'm still not game for it. Though the super trend turned flat, I'm still not game for it. But yes, intraday traders or week traders, that is, you're trading for a week long swing, this is the way it is. Buy at 17 or 1650, sell at 22, 2250. If you're taking a call option on TQQ, whenever the spot touches 17, you take a $21 call option. But don't take a $21 call option within the same week. Give it at least a 12-day duration or a 14-day, 15-day duration. Or give it at least a 10-day, 10 to 12-day duration. But it will take that much time to come up. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 days. So give it a 10-day expiry movement at least. Or a 15-day expiry movement at least. That is the way you will make it. So if you're trading TQQ, buy TQQ call whenever the spot touches 17. So you buy a call of a strike price of 21 or 22, a 3-week away expiry at least, preferably expiry ending on Friday and not midweek, and trade accordingly. With minimal stop loss, that in case if TQQ spot breaks 1625, you will take that as your stop loss and exit your position. Or breaks 16, you exit your position. So $1 stop loss on the spot will give you a $5 run on the spot target. So 1:5. So whenever TQQ is a spot at 17, you will buy a 22 strike price call 3 weeks away, expiring on Friday, with stop loss of TQQ spot at 16. If 16 gets touched on closing basis, you will close your trade and book your losses. Otherwise, trail your profits and hit 22 wherever you want to. Munir, does answers to you?
Sorry, sir. No, I'm not looking TQQ, sir.
Oh, you're not looking at TQ. You're only looking at ES.
Only yes.
Done. Anybody else? Any question on TQQ?
No,
Vivek?
sir. It's all good.
Done.
Yep.
Anybody else before I pick up ES? ES mini? Munir?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Now, look at the ES mini chart. The last candle is for only first 5 days of November. And he has almost touched 2/3 of the previous month's candle, green candle bar, low. He's already closing at near the half, but he's almost at 2/3 of this candle. High and low was 35 and 39 and 35. That makes it a 400 points. So it makes it about 150 or 200. Yes. The low of 37.04 has been tested already. And here the low was 35. The close was 38,883. Sorry, the open was 3600, and here we have already tested 3700. So you realize in the first 5 days of November, the entire month's 30% of the candle has already been tested. Sorry, 70% of the candle has already been tested. Signal line on MACD, negative crossover is done, no chance of reversal. Do you find this line reversing, even flattening? No. CCI is giving it up, which is why histograms are going up. But your stochastic is still down. And this is a monthly chart. Week. Almost same bars, same identical candles, just that the colors are changed. Colors are changed. That's it, nothing else. Resistance on a weekly 200-day 20 moving average. Mid Bollinger Band. Resistance faced, brought down back. Get ready. Upper Bollinger Band turned flat. That means he is capping your upside on that tube, water tube to throw. He is capping your upside, so it will fall down. The only support is at 200-day weekly moving average, which is at 3615, which has been supported on these 4 weeks. So this can be tested again either this week or next week. Clear? Munir, helpful? Day chart. Crossover, negative, negative, negative. Though Friday gave you a green close, the support is at 36.73 here, $100 lower, or if this breaks at 36.50, this 35.75 is a first target. So if you were to trade mini, I would be a buyer for mini at this green level at 36.50 or 36.75 or 36.60. Yeah, 36.70, 36.60, I will be a buyer. 36.60, 36.70, I'm a buyer. And I can keep my stop loss at 3600. Clear? Munir, helpful?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
VXS square from Abhijit, SQ.
SQ. SQ would be where,
Yeah, that's right. Sir. Block.
all right. Is it about crypto?
No, it's into bank financial services. They had earnings, and based on earnings, it had jumped.
Gap up and a red candle. It's strong earnings, yes. That is why it must have jumped up. Stochastic crossover not done. MACD crossover possibly about to happen. CCI at 70, which is a good price. All right. For Avijit, let me draw this line for him. Let me draw this box for him also. This again is a movement within a box. A $10 movement within a box. If this breaks open, your next target will be $75. If 60 gets broken, sorry, 60 is already a 60. Sorry, if 64 gets broken, next target is 74.50, 75. And after that, next target will be 90. Clear box movement is happening. Huge volume, which is why I am giving you specific targets. Crossover expected to happen. CCI has already turned it up. Stochastic is on the verge of crossing over. Stochastic and MACD both are on the verge of crossover. So if the crossover happens, and this MACD crossover will happen very close to zero line, it could give you these targets comfortably. 75 and 89. Whenever this at 64 is broken out in the positive direction on a closing basis. Currently at 60, so you could look to buy at anything above 64 for 74 and 80, 89 targets, 74 and 90 targets. But again, don't expect the target within 2 or 3 days. It will take at least about 30 trading days. That's about 6 weeks. Give that duration time to run. Yeah. All right. Let me just remove this block.
Sir, one question on this chart.
Yeah.
In this chart, if we look at the green one at the bottom was kind of a doji, and the spike or the gap up that happened was primarily because of the results.
Yes.
So I think most of the indicators that have turned would likely have been because of the results, because it's a huge gap. So
Yes, I completely
how
agree
much
with
of
you.
how much of that would would add or let it maintain the momentum, because the moment results impact comes down a bit,
Yes.
the stock tends to come back to its original
Tends to
trajectory.
reverse to its original trend, which is why I marked the box. And you realize it opened gap up, tested the
Mhm.
upper level, tested the upper level at 63.70, did not
Right.
cross 64 conclusively, and came back and gave you a doji close.
Right.
That is the reason why I said if 64 gets taken out, only then will you take it, because the box is at
Mhm.
64.
Right.
So if 64 gets taken out on a closing basis, your next target is $10 away. And
Right.
at 64, $10 is a huge chunk of money.
Right.
Almost
So
15, almost
on a daily
15%.
basis, this should close above 64 is when we say it's
Then I
broken
will
out.
take an entry. Then
Right.
I'll take an entry, and then my entry price is $4 stop loss. Because
Right.
I'm taking a $10 profit, so I'm taking a $4 stop loss. Why am I taking $4 stop loss? This earnings
Gap. This gap.
close at 60. So I'm giving you a $4 stop loss here. Why?
Right.
Because this he will try and make a move to close this gap.
Close the gap.
So keep this as a stop loss at 60 only.
Right. Sir. Got it.
Only if it closes above 64. Otherwise, I'm not taking this trade.
Right.
Secondly, if you ask me why, now I'm trying to play the devil's advocate for Abhijit, for the simple reason. Yeah, sorry, this is not on TSX. So this is on
This is on New York, NYSE.
New York,
NYSE.
NYSE. Okay, NYSE anyway. I'm bearish. I mean Nasdaq I'm bearish. So Dow I'm bullish. At 65, look at this. 65 moving average is at what? 65.60. And your upper Bollinger Band is at 62, which is higher. So that is why super trend at 62, 65, it acted like a resistance and brought it down. So I will wait for it to break 63, 64, 64 to be safe side. If it breaks 64 on a closing basis, I'll enter the trade.
Right.
But your observation is right, because now the news of the earnings is out, and which is why the spike happened.
Right.
Good. Anybody else? Any more questions?
Sir, I had this one. TRP. I haven't.
TRP.
Yes,
Yeah,
TRP.
yeah. Just a minute. TRP. TO? TC?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
you want to see Nasdaq?
TO.
If I'm not mistaken, we had done this last week also when we were discussing energy stocks.
Sir, I think we were doing this last week.
Last week, yeah, we discussed that.
And TRP probably we wouldn't have. Actually, most of them had similar names.
Yes.
So that was CPE, I guess, or CPG.
Yeah.
So
See this happening?
I have a position on this one at 10.5.
At 10.5.
Sorry, not my bad. I have a position at 59.101.
Yeah, I was so happy at 10.5. You will be sitting on $1 million by now.
Yeah, I have very small position, but at 59.01.
All right.
And yeah,
59.01. Now you look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The week close. The lowest point of the week is at 59.16.
right. And it's not broken the 8
59.01.
average.
So that means
It's
you've
not
taken
broken
it
the
last
8.
week.
Yes.
Not this week, not this last week, a week before that.
Right.
Lovely. So your stop loss, the week low,
Right.
and you trail. Targets, first target is over here, 65.
Okay.
Or at 64. But before 64, watch this gap.
Hmm.
This is the gap at 62.50 and 61.71. This gap has to get filled. So if 62.50 gets taken out, then your target is 64. And when 64 gets taken out, because there's another gap over here, look at this gap, 64.77 and this gap. So very minor gap. So when this gap at 64 gets taken out, you are hunting for this level, 66, which will also be your 200-day moving average on a day chart.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So,
My concern, yeah.
yeah, your concern. Let's address your concern. Let's hear it out.
So my concern on this one was the MACD was, coming to a negative crossover. It was approaching, so it could bounce, but I mean, not too sure on this one because so far it seems it's the daily chart is taking support from the eight moving average.
Yeah.
So far that seems, but the last candle, bringing that very close on the MACD made me think a bit.
All right. That is one. But the day candle did not break the low of the previous day. That was a good thing. Right?
Right.
Number one. Number two, 20 is moving up and about to cross 34.
Yes.
If 20 crosses 34 and follows 8, this has to go up. And this is very close to 65. 65 moving average at 61.22.
Okay.
Right? So minute on a closing basis, 61.22 gets taken out and goes up, you are in safe territory. So what I would do to you is, I would say, keep your low of the week at 59 as a stop loss and start trailing it. So
Okay.
at 59, your buying is 59.10, right?
59.01.
59.01. So then if I keep it at 59.01, it's a no profit, no loss trade for you.
Right.
Right. So then it is simple. You're only paying the brokerage, nothing else. And you're securing your trade.
Capital, yeah.
And 59.01 or 59.16 is the low of this week. So if I was to really trade, and if 15 cents is not a paltry amount for you, I would keep my stop loss at 59.15. So I can never be in a loss.
Correct.
Now, depending on the quantity, 15 cents will tell you how much profit will you make for blocking your capital for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Right, sir. Makes sense.
Right? Now, what I would suggest to you, Gaurav, over here is keep 59.15 as a stop loss. So you will never go in a loss, number one. And that is the week low.
Right.
Next week, as you keep progressing, whatever is the low happening on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take the lowest low and keep that, move your stop loss up. So that you're pushing the price upwards.
Got it, sir.
Right. So this is the last 5-day week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-day week is at lowest 59.16. Next low is over here, 59.48. Yeah, 59.48, which happened on 2nd of November. That has not yet been broken. So 59.48, I will then, after this, if this gives you a green candle, 59.48 is my next low, and that becomes my next trailing stop loss. And then I move up. Yeah.
Right, sir.
Welcome.
And sir,
Yeah.
I had
You had analyzed 2 or 3 stocks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They were primarily banking.
Give me the names.
Yep, I'm giving you the name. One is CM.
Which one?
CM, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce,
EM.
on the Toronto Exchange. So this to me is sitting at a breakout for primarily the reasons that A, it has a flag. B, the banking index for Toronto is also running positive. And
Yes.
I think 2 or 3 of the banking stocks have exactly the same setup. So I just thought, we'll discuss one, but RBC also has the same setup, exact replica.
Very true. Now, candlestick patterns, we have learned this ourselves, Gaurav. Everybody on the call has learned candlestick patterns. 3 black crows and 1 candle takes out all the crows.
Right.
Gap up, Marubazu, and height of this crow, high point is 60 to 63, high of this candle is 60 to 64.
Mm-hmm.
So a new higher high has been achieved.
Yes.
Clear? Look at this MACD.
MACD.
Turned up. Look at CCI, stochastic, not yet turned. Now this, if you look at it, was almost, no, it was not even a crossover. It was not a crossover. It was just touch and move.
Right, a bounce off.
Yeah, bounce off from this signal line. From the MACD line. The signal line is just bounced off from the MACD line. So, and banking sector being banking sector, the next targets are clearly identified. 64 is the first target. 64, 65, 66.
Do you have a recommended entry for this? I am not able to get my head around the entry.
Entry would be around 61.50.
Okay.
Why is that? I'll tell you. The low of this is 60.61. High of the Thursday candle was 61.40.
Mm-hmm.
If this candle comes, gives you a small wick at 61.50, I'll buy it. With a clear stop loss as the low on Thursday, which is 61.61. So 60.50 is my stop loss and 61.50 is my buy. 61.50 is buy, 60.50 stop loss. First target 64, second target 65, third target 66, fourth target 68.
Right, sir.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there was MFC, Manulife.
Manulife.
So normally, my lessons from previous ones and last week जैसे हमने TRI discuss करा था. One error I made on that was I missed the part that it had results coming up. So, but purposely this one also has results coming up. But the reason I'm picking this up, Manulife, is Manulife has a twin with Sun Life. They run the same pattern, exactly the same pattern.
Yes.
And Sun Life had very strong results posted last week. Manulife has results coming and they are expected to be strong, and that adds to this setup. So that's why I'm taking it looks like a bullish bet on a strong result expectation.
Yeah, but Manulife as compared to the previous one which you were discussing hasn't given you that closure.
Yeah, it's not there yet. Yes, correct.
It's not there yet. So it becomes a good trading bet. Low at 22.30 and this is at high of 22.30. So the gap has been filled up. That is not an issue. Look to buy it at around 22.30. Look to buy it around 20 to 30. 20 to 30, 20 to 20, 20 to 30 we are looking to buy for it.
Mhm.
And MACD may give you a crossover above the zero line,
Right.
right? CCI has definitely moved positive. Stochastic can give you a crossover once this price crosses above 23.
Right.
Once it crosses to about 23, your stochastic will give you a big bumper crossover. Right? 23 is your resistance because of this support trend and this support trend.
Okay.
Clear? Targets, the green support trend here and the red support trend here at the same level. So 23.40 and then 25, 24.50. Day chart.
Right. But so this is not as strong as the bank, correct?
No, it is not as strong.
It's right. I'd rather take the bank than this.
It is not, because the last one, this was a clean Marubazu which had cleared off all the
Right.
three black rows.
Black rows. Correct.
They're completely clean. He is not as strong as that.
Right, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody else wants a question to be answered? Vivek, Munir, Hitesh, Vaibhav. Any more questions to be answered?
No, sir.
Anything from the YouTube?
Not yet.
Any Indian stocks or YouTube? We
No.
were doing Baroda Rayon last time, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes, sir.
Right.
which I said was a. I haven't seen the stocks over. Let me see if I was right in my observation or not. Oh, it moved up. Yes, it moved up.
It moved up but didn't give an entry.
That was known. No? All these are 5% ramp ups right
Correct.
from here. This is an operator driven stock, which I'm still saying, but look at the volume drop.
Right.
Look at the drop in volume. And this is where we were talking about after this happening. Look at the candlestick here. Volume coming in. Why? Because operator has asked people to buy it.
Correct.
So this will be a sell-off again at this level, which is just here. So possibly Monday, this will again give you a sell-off. But they are selling at this levels. At 345, they are selling it.
Correct. And then it'll, then there'll be no buyers left in the market.
Exactly.
They'll release everything and then there'll be no buyers left in the market.
They have pumped this up again.
Correct.
They will again sell this and bring it down to this level and again take it to this level and sell it away.
Right.
But that will not be for very many times. This is first attempt selling, second selling, possibly one more round of selling, and then it will fall down. In 3 rounds, every operator will liquidate his position. If he can't, he's not an operator worth the salt.
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys. Anybody else? Any questions? I'm done for the day. I have done my analysis. Let me know. Anybody else wants to do?
So based on
Kamal,
your
what are you
analysis,
looking at these days?
Come again?
What are you looking at these days, Kamal, with stocks?
Kamal. That's a good question to Kamal. Kamal is not looking at the stock market at all. You can be sure about that.
yeah, for last 2 weeks I was not looking. Sir is correct. I did trade ES a bit, but not as frequent as I used to be. Vivek sir, I was asking So are you expecting bearish trend in the coming 2 weeks as well, based on overall analysis?
On Nasdaq, yes, I'm expecting a bearish trend, but on Dow Jones broader market, I'm expecting the reverse. I'm expecting it to be bullish or sideways. But Nasdaq will be bearish with a negative or sideways with a negative bias. So Nasdaq will still continue to remain sell on rise. Dow Jones will still continue to remain buy on dips. There are two different indices on the same market, but they will have a different correlation to each other. Broader markets globally, FTSE looking strong, India markets looking strong. Astrologically speaking, we have a major event coming on Tuesday. There's a lunar eclipse happening on Tuesday. So my suggestion to you all is, because I like to trade technical and astro, my suggestion would be always trade light whenever such things are happening, and it's a very acute planetary positions. So please trade light. Why am I saying this light? Because the astro positions are talking about destruction globally. It's that bad. So I would say trade light. Don't go aggressive into trading, trade light. There is no harm in letting go of some time, not trading, rather than losing money. I would say trade light. Astrologically, trade light. Otherwise, technically, we have already told to you what to do, what's not to be done, how things have to be moved. You all are very well aware of it. I mean, I was watching a few videos and few analysis. Specifically, the Indian subcontinent is going to be very, very turbulent. Very turbulent. Not only India, but surrounding. Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran will be very turbulent for the next 3 weeks.
Sir, it is because of India-Pakistan final.
No, there's nothing.
Just joking.
I'm talking about Iran also. So just be assured. No, I really wish it is India-Pakistan final, but I really don't want to comment on that. And that is just round the corner.
Yeah.
But politically,
Yeah,
and astrologically, it is going to be bad. Specifically on US market, you have a midterm elections on 8th November. So that's going to have a repercussion on the stock market. Unfortunately, there are also a lot of election pundits over there, like in every other country. So they also will have a lot of volatility within the day.
Yeah, and the full lunar eclipse is also on November 8th.
That is why I said astrologically, and that's a very dangerous lunar eclipse. Specifically for Pakistan, it's a very dangerous lunar eclipse. I mean, literally everybody, all the astrological experts that I've spoken to have always mentioned it's going to be very, very turmoil situation for Pakistan in the next 2 weeks. I will not be surprised if the army takes over also.
How about UK, sir?
UK we just did FTSE. UK was very clearly established. So UK, I'm not bothered. I'm more bothered about US, more bothered about Pakistan, because if US is in trouble, US will create more trouble in the areas like the Middle East, which is Saudi and Iran. As it is, US is talking about it. There have been press releases by the US on US shows that Iran is going to attack Saudi. Iran has not spoken about it, but US is speaking about it. So the fear mongering has already started, which is why I say the next 2 weeks or the next 10 days will be bad. So please trade light. Clear? Anything else for me? required from me? Hopefully you had a good session.
Yes, sir. I think
Enjoyable.
you have covered all the indexes and the stocks that are requested. Any last query from anyone? Or are we all good?
All good. Thank you, sir.
All
Thank you,
Kamal.
Vaibhav.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Gaurav.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vivek.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Hitesh.
Kamal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.